Welcome back to the Church of Atheism Podcast. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to Justin. Just joined the $5 club per month. Thank you so much, man. We really do appreciate it. If you want to join Justin, you can go to patreon.com/Church of Atheism. That'll help us out every month. Really do appreciate it. Got a fun episode today. I'm not going to take up too much of your time for the intro. We hope you enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of something. This episode is brought to you by heroin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. See, Christian Mingle didn't work. Dove Men's Moisturizer didn't work. All these legitimate businesses aren't working. So now,
let's go underground.
Yep. So Enrique Gutierrez Marlboro, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Enrique Gutierrez Marlboro's heroin. If you want the finest China White or black tar, he's got you.
Tell him COA sent you and they'll take $10 off.
Well, that could mean we'd be in the indictment, so maybe keep that out.
You know what we could do is put AOC.
Actually, yeah. Enter promo code.
Yeah.
COA, and by enter promo code, I mean knock on the door when he slides the thing over, and before you put your cash in.
COA sent me.
Yeah. That's the promo code. It's a real grassroots type of promo code.
You don't want to know how we get paid off.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Then I started thinking, like, if we actually did that, let's say I gave a shout out to a guy's heroin dealing business, like his actual name or whatever, even a nickname.
Right.
Then he gave us money. Like, could we get charges as part of like a criminal conspiracy? Like, we don't actually sell anything. We actually didn't fund anything.
I don't know, man.
We're still accepting money from a drug dealer. Like, even if I put that on my taxes, like, even if I reported that as income, I wonder what could happen.
Huh. Maybe we should not do that sometime.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't do that. Yeah. That's how you get quality material like this, because instead of thinking about things that could help the show, I make up hypothetical scenarios of drug dealers paying us. I just run that through my mind for an hour.
Yep. And then it's time for dinner.
Yeah. Oh God, speaking of that, I ate way too much today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Say no more. Have you tried new Prilosec OTC?
I haven't.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh yeah, you just eat like a piece of shit.
Turn into a truck.
Yeah, you turn into a truck and drink oil. Why do they have teeth?
Like flu going around. I refuse to play by its rules, but I definitely have allergies right now.
Yeah. Oh man, I got that too. Like, actually, it was kind of good timing because I took some like cold stuff that'll make me drowsy, but not till probably like so close till bedtime. I don't know. I've been experimenting with cold medicines this last fucking week because I have to, and I think I got it all. I think now that I'm at the tail end of it, I figured out how to sleep well, but now that I don't need it.
That usually helps too. Like once you get to that level, like your body is like ready to be refreshed now.
Yeah.
Like, you can sleep through it. Now you can go sleep all the rest of it off.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been in the same boat. Like I've been feeling like shit. Actually, today hasn't been so bad because like I got to sleep a little bit. I went to work, and then they're like, "Oh, no one told you that the schedule got switched?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So like, I got to sleep in a little bit, not as much as I probably needed. But when you're sick,
Oh yeah.
it goes a long way.
Even like a 30-minute power nap. Like even like a 30-minute power nap was like just a refresher.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, so I just watched this like documentary type thing. It was really brief. It was like 15 minutes. It was on YouTube, but it was about like a Catholic orphanage in Tuam. I pronounced it Tuam because it's spelled exactly like Guam.
Yeah,
But like,
let's go Twom.
yeah.
Twom Walker.
But it was pretty crazy. So like, there was an orphanage, which in Ireland there's a ton of them, and they're all not all of them, but Ireland has a pretty rich history of like really fucked up things going into orphanages. So like,
Right.
I was trying to read another article, so I kind of didn't really pay too much attention. But like, this one lady actually, I don't know if she went there or whatever, but like she researched it, and in however many decades it operated, there were 792 children that were like unaccounted for, which meant that
What?
they either died. Yeah, when they said the number, I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And then, but it's not like because oh no, it started when somebody found bones buried there, and then they went through the local records and found that there was no burial that took place there, and then they started to dig into
Oh
the
my
orphanage
God.
records. Yeah, and then like a huge part of that is that in Ireland, because I looked this up because it was a plot point on Sons of Anarchy, and then I'm like, I wonder if there's any truth to that, and there's way more truth than I expected. But like, a huge thing is like, well, I'll run you through what's kind of standard. Anytime a girl gets pregnant and she's not married, basically, like, depending on where you live or what time period, it still goes on today. But well, and girl would get pregnant outside of marriage,
Right.
and then they would send her to a place to have the kid, and then the orphanage would essentially steal the child and send them on their way. And out of those 792, most of those were probably just like secretly, I mean, basically trafficked. Like a lot of those kids just went to America,
I'm sure.
like Catholic families and shit. Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, real quick, I was gonna run this by you, but I had a pretty good idea
Yeah.
for topic, which was, well, it started. See, it's our tribute to Unsolved Mysteries, the show,
Right.
because well, they're bringing it back on Netflix. Unfortunately, Robert Stack is no longer alive, which sucks. But then I was thinking, I'm like, that
R.I.P..
show was such a, yeah, God, he's so fucking good. And you know what I just remembered is that I forgot, because I haven't seen it in years, that he was the ATF agent in Beavis and Butthead Do America,
Yeah.
the one who was obsessed with cavity searches. Like,
Yep.
that guy was so fucking, like, any comedy I've ever seen him on, he's just,
Yep.
like Leslie Nielsen in that whole deadpan delivery. Like, it's so funny.
And he played
And then he,
in basketball.
I was just gonna say that he played himself as the unsolved mystery. And he's like, or he's like, we have no fucking clue what he is.
Yeah. Update.
Yeah, update. But then, yeah, then I started thinking about that show, and then I was compiling a list of religion-related mysteries, which I was working on that for a while today, but it's kind of difficult because there's a certain thing I'm going for. Like, of course, there's a ton of like religious mysteries if we're talking about like where's the Ark of the Covenant, or
Right.
like where was Jesus' actual birthplace, or did Jesus exist, or what happened to these missing. It wasn't that. I was looking for stuff more modern. Like, for instance, I found a story about a guy. So he was waiting to get in a confessional booth, and he was waiting maybe a little longer than he thought, and then they just found his ass dead on the floor of the church, and they found out he ingested cyanide.
Damn.
And then he had $1,900 in his pocket, and he just had a note, like basically saying he wants that money to pay for his funeral. And then he signed the note, but the name he signed is actually the name of a clothing company that provides like the priest robes and shit. So I don't think he was ever actually identified. And
Wow.
then some people did some more like digging into it, and he actually might have been a suspect in the murder of two priests.
What?
And then yeah, it gets crazier and crazier. So my idea for like that topic was stuff along the lines of that.
Like it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just it was a little challenging to find stuff, but like,
I like it.
yeah, when I'm like bored or like I'm trying to go to sleep or something, one thing I'm obsessed with is like unsolved crimes and like weird mysteries like that. So the perfect thing for me to research. But yeah, there was that. There's actually with one thing, because I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries the last couple months because it's on Amazon Prime. And there was a Catholic priest in like, I think like West Texas or West Colorado or something, but he was just found murdered in the desert. They never, yeah. So there's like all these like unsolved murders of like religious officials.
Huh.
But not even that. Like they all like the ones that I've been compiling. They all have a really creepy, sinister element. So,
Right.
yeah. So sometime soon we'll do the Unsolved Mysteries tribute with relating to religion.
I'm down. Let's make a
Yeah.
fun thing.
Yeah, I found like I just Googled something like that, and I found a few articles that had a lot of information, and the cases are just bizarre. Like the one I just mentioned. Like, yeah, that should be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm down. That seems like a fun, challenging, almost like a challenging topic.
It is because it's definitely something I research in my free time.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. I thought we were talking about the orphanage. You're talking about adoption.
Oh
Yeah, a
yeah.
little transition there. See what I did there?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
should have mentioned those topics opposite.
I'll edit it. No, I'm just joking. I don't go into that deep into detail when I edit.
Oh, I got one. You know what's another unsolved mystery is how do you adopt kids? That's as good as I'm gonna get for a segue.
Bam. You can tell we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. We're just like smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it, like a week ago? A couple days ago, I found an article that kind of enraged me a little bit about a foster care agency leader would rather lose government funding than change a Christian-only foster care policy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I don't understand. I guess like it's almost like a rage. Like he just hates everyone that's not a Christian so much that you can't imagine a non-Christian raising a kid.
Yeah, because we've covered plenty, like we've covered a lot at this point about how Christianity isn't probably the strongest source of morals.
Right. Yeah.
Just in general.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're allowed to, beat your slaves to within an inch of its life, so that seems about right.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it doesn't have its, positive aspects.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, something about this whole thing, like, even if it wasn't government funded, like, I'd still be upset about this.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if it was, even if it was like, oh, we're not gonna let, like, we only let atheists adopt kids.
right.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, why would you?
I think that's one of the, most, what am I trying to say here? Probably one of the best side effect of being an atheist what real word am I looking for there?
Yeah.
Anyway, like the I don't look at Muslims and Christians and like any religious person and be like, ugh, they couldn't raise my kid.
Yeah. I wouldn't put a kid for adoption if I knew it was going straight to like Yemen or Syria,
Right.
but
Right.
that's more to do with geographic location.
Right. Yeah, I don't. That's I think that's what the biggest thing about kind of poisons religion is like that's your mindset.
Yeah, that's pretty toxic thinking, and really, when you really look at it, like you couldn't really stray further from like what Jesus wanted, which is
Right.
essentially for everybody to be cared for. You
Yeah.
know, like that was basically his message is like help the people who can't help themselves. So by letting just kids grow up in an orphanage, you are not helping.
Right.
I haven't been to every single one, but and I'm sure a lot has changed. Like I'm sure the government's gotten involved over the years, but for most of like this country's history, an orphanage is probably the worst place you could be raised.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's better than letting some non-Christian have a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, much better. You could just let a kid grow up without ever really feeling any sort of parental love, and then that's no good for anyone. That's gonna
No.
mess them up. So you're messing. It's basically you're potentially ruining the lives of children out of spite. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's like I said, even take out the government funding for a second. We'll get to that later. But just you're gonna ruin a child's life and multiple children's lives because fuck non-Christians?
Mm-hmm.
That, like you said, that's not really how. I remember the Jesus in the old book.
Yeah, yeah, I don't remember that at all.
He was kind of a dick, but he wasn't that big of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He just wanted to party. He wanted to eat a bunch of bread and drink wine.
He was the coolest hippie ever.
I would have to say so.
I bet you if he was like, never mind, I'm too high to do that one.
He'd probably hang out with Wayne
Yes,
from Wayne's World.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I just said that because I was just watching part of that. Party on, Jesus.
Party on, my brothers.
God, I've been wanting to watch that. I'd put just a few minutes of it on, and then I'm like, time for that tonight, but I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Anytime, like, not that I do a whole lot of meditating, but anytime I think about meditating, I think about that because of the fucking the guitar that he wants to buy so bad. And
Yeah.
Garth was like, "You'll never afford it. Live in the now." Like, every time I think about getting into the now, like the power of now or whatever, I'm like, "You'll never afford it.
Yeah.
Live in the now." Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course, like when people say stuff like that, when they say, "Oh my God, that fucking freaked me out. This door just like I thought it was like Zool was in there, the refrigerator."
There is no
But it just
Dana.
fucking opens. It just opens on its own. Fucking weird to me. Anyway, but yeah, and then also with people like that, what they mean by only Christians, they mean that only their type of Christians.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like, yeah, they certainly
Methodist
don't mean,
or
yeah, like their type of Christianity, or yeah, like those weird snake handling churches. I'm sure they don't mean that.
you know what we should do for like a YouTube channel is just get like 6 seconds a piece of just snake handlers getting bit in church.
Oh my God, yeah. Because I've seen at least a couple of videos.
And then we'll either we'll have to play it like we'll do a split test. We'll do the circus music in the background.
Oh, there you go.
Or the other video will be like it's the same videos, but it's like instead of the circus music, it'll be like a holy like hymn,
Yeah.
and we'll see which one does better. We'll split test.
Yeah, because I know I for sure read about. I don't think it's on video though, but I for sure read about at least a couple people being killed by poisonous snakes because they thought, God would help them not get bitten.
Yep. I forgot which
What?
passage it is. It's a passage in the Bible about
Yeah.
God will protect you, even from snakes or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, see, check this out. And bite right in the fucking face.
And then why do they limit themselves to snakes? Why not like gators and
Right.
Komodo dragons and
I know it's not in the Bible, but
handle barracudas?
I've always lived by the. It's just like a fucking freaking out in the water. No, I've always lived by the philosophy that go big or go home.
Yeah.
So Komodo dragons, oh my god, they'd be destroyed in a minute.
Yeah, that'd be
These
awesome.
are awesome.
Or tigers. And then that got me thinking, like, if you just had a bunch of cute animals running around, like goats and rabbits and shit, that would probably make church a little more fun for the kids.
That's true. And it's realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should call God and ask if I could be his new PR guy. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if the Pope's doing the best job.
He's not really pulling his weight. I don't feel.
No. That is funny. I was thinking about how that is essentially what the Pope is God's PR guy.
Yeah. Hey, Jesus wants us to do this now.
I should call God and be like, look, I represented Charlie Sheen. All right, so think of what I could do for you.
Right. That's
I
true.
was thinking about with like nowadays, if some asshole will go through a person's tweets back to the very beginning of their account
Yeah.
just to find something that they could get in trouble for.
Yep.
And then it's like, and this is, someone pointed this out to me, which was like, it's so funny because all you really got to do is just not change, just be consistent. If you're going to say something shitty, just keep saying shitty stuff. And then, because like, look at Charlie Sheen, like, he fucking,
He full throttled it.
oh my god, he fucking just famously smoked crack until he almost died with hookers, almost gave a bunch of people AIDS and shit, and then like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I don't care, I'm not sorry, that's just who I am, and then everyone's like, oh, shit, there's nothing we can do now.
Right. Game over.
Yeah, like, they tried to get him to apologize.
Keep the throttle down, baby.
Yeah, he didn't, and he's just fine as a result, so. 'Cause immediately after the 2.5 Men thing, he got a show on FX, so.
Yep.
It's like his career was fine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just so funny to me how, like, people try and shame, like, celebrities into non-existence, and then you got Charlie Sheen who's like, yeah, well, fuck you, I don't give a shit. And
Yeah.
like, it's just hilarious how that's like the attitude that you need to have to deal with that. Like,
Yep.
because you're clearly not helping, just shaming people.
Right. Like, if you have to go back, like, years and years and years, the person has possibly changed since then, or there was a reason, like, you took it out of context, and the guy's like, I don't remember what the context was now, it was 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're doing that, if you're going through people's tweets and Facebook shit, you are the one with the fucking problem.
Exactly.
Like, that's a weird, creepy thing to do. It's a fucking complete useless waste of your time.
Yep.
It's because the people that are doing it are like writers and bloggers, and as was also pointed out, they probably have no skills in the real world. So, like,
Right.
If they get fired because also, like, getting fired or getting in trouble is the worst possible punishment, because then they'd be fucked if they have no skills.
Yeah. People just need to go back to Garth. People just need to live in the now, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
we should scrap today's topic and just talk about living in the now.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We could just live in the now. We could just have like an hour of dead air, and then we'll have been like. And people complain, are like, no, we were living in the now. We were on topic.
Yeah. That's the most now we've ever been, actually.
Exactly.
We were ahead of all the news, the breaking news, and we covered it live.
Yeah. Covered all the issues.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
big shout out to Charlie Sheen.
Yep. My personal hero.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of is.
Honestly.
In like a way to me, because
Yeah.
does all the drugs he wants, and he's like, well, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day and exercise for 2 hours. So, aside from the occasional hospital visit and near overdose,
right.
He's in good health. Well, except for the HIV. I never.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He can probably run a mile faster than I can. So
yeah.
Good on him.
He's far more wealthy than I am.
There's that.
That's what matters.
Yep.
I would never vote for a president who is a millionaire. I only vote for billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And if Donald. Yeah, and that's why I believe Donald Trump. Like, he doesn't have to show his taxes. If he says he's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
He's special.
He is.
Fuck out of here with his tax returns that might possibly show criminal linked charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just America, land of the free. So yeah. Oh, the foster care agency was out of South Carolina, by the way.
Oh.
So there you go.
Yeah. Not too surprised.
Over 2,000 children are in foster care in the upstate of South Carolina. 2,000 children in just that little area are in foster care.
God damn, that's a lot. That sucks.
And instead of letting them go to families who might treat them right and give them a great, future, nope. We gotta make sure that only Christians get these kids.
Oh yeah, that is enraging, because it's like you have 2,000 some kids who could give a shit less about grown-ups' personal problems. Like, kids they want to eat, and they want stuff to play with, and they want, whether they realize it or not, they want, someone who gives a shit about them. That's really it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. That's really all it takes to raise a kid to where he has a pretty good shot at being a decent person in adulthood. You just feed them, make sure they're warm, and then,
kick them
give
out.
them attention. Yeah, and pick them right up.
Nope. This one says you have to be a Christian parent. So, well, it makes sense. Because she says being a resource foster parent is a tremendous blessing and directly answers God's call in James 1:27. And I really can't argue that point.
Yeah, no. That's ironclad.
Yeah.
And as someone who lies about being a lawyer, I can tell you that that's open and shut.
Yeah. I wish I would have read that part before we hit record because I've got nothing to argue now.
Yeah, we could have just not even bothered.
Damn it. That's so solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have been, we're wasting our time doing this. I could have been inventing fictional heroin dealers in my head.
Yep. For our next week's advertiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that she was gonna call on James 1:27. So
that means I gotta give back Hernando Marlboro or whatever. I gotta give him his $32 back.
Yeah.
You're not getting your heroin back, Hernando. Sorry.
She just went there, man. I didn't expect James 1:27 to come into play.
Yeah.
It's like, is that what that's gonna do? Like shut someone down because Bible verse.
Yeah.
Like, is that what they think? Like that's an okay answer? No, fuck. There's kids who need places to live,
Yeah.
and you're closing them down because James 127 said so. That makes no fucking sense to me. I don't care what James 127 says. I'm not gonna quote it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Let these kids have places to live.
And even with federal funding, I read that a lot of like orphanages and child care places are still pretty not
Great.
equipped, not properly equipped or whatever the. So yeah, even with the funding, it's still not usually
enough.
good. Yeah.
I mean, they're not living in mansions by any means.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like, just from what I know, or what I think I know, that's like one step above like youth prison.
Yeah.
Because another thing to consider is that, like, there are those kids that are living there that probably don't have a shot at a normal life anyway, and like, and then like, so they're gonna have all this anger and frustration, and there's like, young sociopaths who people just don't want to adopt. They're all too fucked up, and then you're still putting them in an environment with like kids who do have a chance, and that's not gonna help the kids who do have a chance.
Yep. It's like a circle that they're just in the way of.
Like, yeah, because I mean, yeah, like obviously there's adults there that, staff, and there's probably a lot of good people that work there that do care, but they can't.
Right.
They can't have one-on-one time with every single child all the time. So then you're basically like the kids are gonna look up to the older kids.
Yep.
And I don't know, that could be good or bad.
The agency was threatened with being shut down a little over a year ago because it turned away a Jewish woman named should I name her? No, just turned away a Jewish woman. It was like even someone that's Jewish. Like I always feel like Jews and Christians are really, really pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when it kind of comes down to it, like I realize they're not, but they're the same. Come on.
Yeah, like if you're a real fundamentally religious person, you're just the same. You're the same as all the fundamentally religious people,
Yeah.
I think.
Just makes no sense to me.
Like you're still not gonna wanna like if you're a Muslim, if you're a hardcore fundamentalist Muslim, you're probably not gonna want your kid dating a Christian, and if you're same with if you're a fundamentalist Christian, you probably don't want your kid marrying a Muslim person, and so on. It's like, it's so funny. You guys are just all the goddamn same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. It's just different types of hatred. Is what it boils down to.
It really is, dude.
Different types of prejudice.
It's like, like for high school sports, you hate Grand Island.
Right. Yeah.
Why? They're just people that live in a different town than you. Like, you hate them because of your football team. What?
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I mean, that really is what, like, politics and religion is, you're not on my team, so fuck you. We're never
pretty
gonna
much.
get along. It's fucking just so awful and gross to sit back and watch it.
Yeah.
Especially now that's just never in politics, at least in our lifetime, probably been more evident than right now with the government shutdown.
Over a fucking wall.
Over a stupid wall, and it's like, you fucking ran your campaign on saying that Mexico is going to pay for it, and anyone who still supports the fucking stupid $5.5 billion wall, knowing that they're going to pay for it, I'm sorry, you're a fucking moron.
Yep.
Or you're just too blind.
Yep. That's kind of where I've fallen on it too. Like, it's hard to have a civil debate anymore. It really is. Like, I'm having trouble on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never been professional on Twitter, but I've been like, I have tried to limit myself on how far I'll go in an argument or a debate.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I'll try to hold back.
Yeah.
Like, not completely give the show a bad name, but, but like, I want to at least have some hold back, to say at least I hold back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder.
Oh, I know. I would always go on Facebook every day, and I don't think I've been on in probably over a month. I might have been on it once or twice, and then I'll scroll down to 7 posts, and I'm like, all right,
I'm done.
I fucking can't. I just watch dumb people arguing about dumb shit.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be silly and goof off and talk about movies. Everyone thinks their opinion matters.
Yep.
It doesn't.
It doesn't one bit.
That's why you gotta live in the now.
Live in the now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe that whole thing. And then on top of it, I just lost it, by the way. I just lost the article. There it is. On top of it, it's fucking federally funded.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't know where the line of church and state is anymore.
Yeah. It's just such bullshit.
If they're allowed to do that, there is no line. That's okay. It's a Christian church. They can do what they want. Yeah, we're paying them money, but they're Christians. They can do what they want. There's no line.
Oh, yeah, there are so many. That is just a small fraction of similar things like that. Like federal funding going into these religious wackos. There's so many social programs that are religious based that are pretty immoral, or they're at least being operated by immoral people.
Enraging. It would still be one thing if it was a federally funded religious thing that was doing good. But just it would still be, in my opinion, against the Constitution, where there's supposed to be a line in the sand about where church and state meet.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're doing good things, I'd have a way less problem with it. But you're limiting who can have a kid while 2,000 sit in the orphanage?
Right. Yeah, it's absurd.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I was trying to think of... Oh, yeah, there's a similar example of that. Or, I don't know. Was it Billy Graham, the one who was a Christian advisor to every president? Was that him? Yeah. Is he dead now?
Yeah, he is.
I thought so, because the name just popped into my head, and I just realized that, I haven't heard anything about him since Trump got elected, and then I realized, well, maybe he is dead then.
Yeah, his son Franklin is now the head of Dipshits Anonymous.
Yeah, because I just remember George W. Bush was in love with Billy Graham.
Yep.
I remember that era and time,
he was on the payroll.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd hear about fucking Billy Graham all the time. Fucking millionaire preachers. That also.
The fucking hypocrisy of it.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Osteen's my target.
Oh my god. He's such a fucking piece of shit. We've mentioned the whole hurricane refugee thing.
Yeah.
About how he didn't want his church dirtied up.
Yep.
So he lied about a flood.
Unbelievable, dude. Oh my god. If somehow we ever become powerful enough that we're the ones that take Joel Osteen down, that would make my life.
Yeah, I'd kill myself.
Immediately afterwards.
After that, yeah.
Yep. It doesn't get any better than this.
I'd travel to Mount Fuji and just commit seppuku with a fucking samurai sword.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be fine.
I mean, that's the top of the mountain for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to wrap up another episode of the Church of Atheism Podcast. Again, if you want to help us out and support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Church of Atheism. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate every one of you guys. If you guys are having a good time, share it with your friends. Let them know about it. You can now hear us on Spotify as well. So you can new place to hear us at. That's going to do it. We'll talk to you guys next time.